What's up, party people? It's your girl. Welcome to China and welcome to my channel. And today we're going to be talking about something very hot and very topic-y here on Ask a Black Girl. We're going to be talking about should women approach men, but in the dating field, in the dating market. So for this conversation, I brought one of my near and dear best friend, Sanjane. Sanjane, hello.
Hi, I'm Sanjane, China's best friend.
So she's here, precursoring to some things we're going to be doing very soon, but I wanted to have her chime in on this conversation because we have a lot of different opinions. We are very close. We have a lot of similarities. We come from the same place. We're both from Michigan. She's from Detroit. I'm from the burbs, give or take, some may say. With that being said, we went to college together. We've been friends for, like 5 years, 6 years now?
Six, very much 6
years now. So I think this is a good conversation for us to have. So I'll open it up. Should women approach men in the dating field? I'm going to make you start it off. Do you think women should approach men? Like, you see something you like, should they go for it?
I think that it's up to the person. Like, if you feel like this is my last opportunity, I might not never see him again, or I just want to shoot my shot, then I feel like you should say something. But I feel like it should be in a way that you do it. Like, if you're like nervous and you don't necessarily always like to slide in DMs, then like try to see how you can like tailor it to yourself. But I don't think that it's like an end all be all thing. Like, you have to do it. But if that's what you want to do, if you want to try to pursue somebody like that, you can.
So you said two separate things. You said, okay, if you're out in public, for example, you out to eat with your friends or you're at the club. So let's say that. So you see somebody, this is probably like a once in a lifetime type of deal. But that's different than being in the DMs when you see somebody.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But both ways is sliding on somebody. Like, both ways is trying to talk to somebody. So if you're in a situation where it's just like, okay, like, we at this bar, we didn't have fun, we didn't dance, we didn't talk, whatever, you don't know if you're going to see him again, yeah, definitely slide him your number if that's what you want to do. But if you just see him on the gram and you just like, oh, he kind of fine, but I don't know. Like, that for me is something that I'll be like, I don't know. I'll probably like sit on that because ultimately it's just like, do I know you?
It has a trail. Dude, it has a trail. I feel like if you say something to somebody at the bar and you don't say, if they don't know you. So, if you slide up on them, maybe they'll see you again. But if you got somebody on Instagram, I feel like messages, knowing other people, circles, I feel like that's a little bit more messy.
Yeah. And it's just, I don't know. It's the sliding for me. When you have to slide in somebody's DMs, it's just like, it gotta be clever enough. Like, you can't just like, it can't be boring or basic.
What would you, okay, so let's talk about this. I guess I'll say why I feel. I think in more ways than one, I'll say this. I think I will give it 4 out of 10 slides, I'll be the one sliding. So I think that at least if it's 10 people to slide on out here in my dating spectrum, I think that at least 4 of them I'll be cool with sliding in them. I don't have an issue with it at all. I think that you have to be slick and sly about it. I'm not gonna be like, yo, what's up? Can I have your number? I think that you can start to like, look, I think you're gonna notice. I think you can walk past if you're out in public. I mean, you can write it on I've written my number on a receipt before.
We didn't did circles before around a few people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think it's kind of like if people are, I feel like if the opportunity is there, then yes. But I think that you don't necessarily have to slide in the DM. I will say this. I think that people think the liking of the pictures is lame. I've done that before, like liking a lot of their pictures if they like add you, like back in the day. Like,
I think, yeah, we didn't, but that's the thing. We have grown so much in social media on what's appropriate and not appropriate.
People still do
like, people do, but it's just like, people don't like, people not gonna go down to the bottom of your picture and like that's how we used to know when we was in high school or like early part of college, like, oh, he liked my picture from 2013. Do you think that doesn't
work anymore? I feel like that's
I don't think people be doing that no more. I think people really just slide in your DMs, like if they want you. Like, Quavo just put an icy emoji in Sweeties. It's like, that was it. Like, he didn't say nothing. He didn't go like no picture. He just was in her DMs. Like, I feel like people, dudes are.
Quavo, he don't have to say nothing. He could put a period.
Right, but it's a lot of it's a lot of dudes who's just as shiesty who would do the same thing. So I feel like it's just, I don't know, we've grown so far with how technology is used that
So you
I
saying
don't
that
know.
people don't like pictures anymore? It's not the liking. I think okay. I think that that's like kind of. I know that that's lame. And I guess I
They're
would say
like a few photos, like
story, the story. They'll comment on
yeah. They
Snapchat,
definitely comment on your story and be like, "Oh,
Snapchat,
who is you talking to?"
Instagram. Those are two different things though, because I think somebody has to still personally have you. Like I don't add people who add me on Snapchat at random, whether your friend tags you or whatever. I think that's weird. But I think Instagram,
Yeah,
it kind of depends, and it depends if you have like a public or private profile. But also, a lot of people don't use like a lot of people don't have a big following. A lot of people don't necessarily use that as I've still considered that to be kind of out there, a little hot girlish to like still have people on your profile enough to like have that be a big part of dating. And I feel like some people don't be having. I don't think that that's still.
what you mean? What you mean by that?
I think that like yes, like people. I think it depends still how many followers you have. I think it still depends like how many people really coming across your page or what kind of content you have on your page, whether people gonna slide on you. But I feel like it's 50-50. I feel like some people get it from social media and some people do like apps and stuff. I mean, people do both. I've done both, but I feel like sometimes it kind of depends on the person. Like that's why I
I
get men.
Yeah, I feel like on dating apps though, it's a little bit like okay, like an app like Bumble, you have girls have to talk first. So in that way, you kind of do have to say something first. But then like it'd be dudes with the bios to be like girls don't know how to say nothing to people, or they'd be like girls who just say hi. Like you still have to tailor it to get a bite in that way. Like I don't know. I think that
That's true. That's
shooter Steph Curry's not going to shoot from a spot where he don't know it can go in. So that's how I feel. Like if you don't think it can go in, if you are going to shoot your shot and you don't feel like it can go in, don't shoot your shot.
so you're saying that people should know their boundaries and know what they can get.
Yeah, know what your spirit is. Like know how far you can go in
I
your
think that
scope.
men have a trajectory of that.
What you mean?
I think some men, because it could be all types of crazy, buck teeth, berries, dusty Darnells trying to talk to you. Like, how could you ever? But
Right.
I think I think women have that gauge. Some women don't, obviously, because the Kevin Samuel shit, like he shames women all the time for not knowing, thinking they can get whoever a 10 of a man. But I think that men sometimes struggle with that. I
We're
think
thinking that.
whether they're cute or not, I just think that they
But girls are more open to wanting to date beneath them looks wise, or like to date whatever, because girls are girls. Like dudes, it's kind of in the they're physical beings, so they look what they like is what they see. So it's like you got more. It's like only the best of girls are going to be able to hook up with Drake. Like everybody can't hook up with Drake. You get what I'm saying? So you kind of got to know, you got to know who to spot on. Like you just can't be willy nilly, just like, oh, I'm just, I like him, he cute as much. And like, if you feel like that's what it is, if you feel like you can move that, then do that.
I have a comment. So out of all of the slides, okay, so it's the guy that lives back home that was in the frat that looks like Drake. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
So him, for example, like I had him added on my page. I think we were like recall this at one time. Actually, I told you about this.
I think so. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I indirectly slid on him. I think I commented on like a Snap story or something, and I missed my beat because I was broke. I didn't have a car, and he invited me out one night, and I totally missed my beat. But I felt like I kind of set out my spirit there. I feel like okay, so let's set the stage. So for those who don't know,
But you know you could.
he's fine and he gets a lot of fine women. So I feel like unless I was going to do that, like he would probably look at me twice on the street probably. But I just think unless I said, hey, I'm just another cute girl liking his pictures, he probably has all tens.
But
Like,
that was in your pool though. Like I feel like that was in your bubble.
but
Like
to
I
me,
feel
I don't see that. And still, when I date, I still would be like, it kind of, I still, I'll go for it, but I still don't know if I can pull it. I'll still risk it though. But it kind of just, that would be too much effort to date a hot guy like that, like a guy who got like 20,000 on Instagram, who's not like, famous, but like he has clout in college, like that type of guy. I feel like that's like, that still is hit or miss.
mm,
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like your situation, in that situation anyway, you was if you felt comfortable enough to slide, then you feel like you were gonna make something shake. Like it's not.
Yeah.
If you felt uncomfortable, you would have never slid. So I feel like it's a slight chance for you to take the
Yeah.
risk.
It's
But that's what
definitely
I'm saying.
to make you like me. I don't want people to get that impression is to make you like me or to pick me. It's not that. It's just once you get there, I just think it sometimes has to be. I don't know. I think we went to a college with like a lot of like it's like college fake popularity and just going to like being in like being black and being social, like going to our like college. I just feel like it is like a hierarchy of popularity and things like that, as if it was like high school type shit. So like I still feel like it's still people who you still couldn't really get with, or people who still like the football players. Like we still went to like a D1 college. Like it's not just like cute guys. It's still I don't know. But I don't like. I would say I don't like today. I don't date athletes, so I don't know. I just things are kind of hard.
Yeah, I think, like I said, if you feel like you can do it, do it. And I hope your shot go in. But
Hold on,
if
you're
you,
frozen. You were moving. Okay, hold on. We gotta go back. 3, 2, 1.
I feel like if you feel like your shot gonna go in, then you should shoot it. If you don't shoot.
Now, can you? But I okay. So you're saying this, and I know you. I just feel like okay. Now, how much of this do you do?
I shoot shots where I feel like my shots can go in. I take calculated risk. Like if I'm going to try to talk to you, then
Walk
it's
us
just
through a calculated risk.
like, okay, if say we run in the same social sphere, like I see you out, you see me out, we got mutual friends, but they're not like besties. It's like, okay, if we follow each other on Instagram, I like a few pictures, you like a few pictures. I notice you see my story, I see your story. If you post the right picture and I'm feeling some type of way, I can slide on you because I feel like, okay, like we didn't sync each other
So
enough.
what would the slide be? So he posts a fine picture. He out and about his Sunday. He got on his Sunday best. He looked good. He out here looking at the Lord. The lights hitting him. You think he looks good? What do you say? You send it. You tell me you send it in an ice emoji, or what would you say?
Definitely not sending an ice emoji. I feel like it depends. It depends. If I know you, then I'm gonna probably get you with some like witty something that maybe like something is an inside joke that we know or something like that. Or I might try. I don't know. See, I be hearing that the hard eyes is not a thing anymore. You just can't send hard eyes. That's not the T. So I don't know. Honestly, at this point, I haven't had nobody recently in my sphere who I feel like I wanted to slide in their DMs. So yeah, I'm a witty person though. I like to talk shit. So that's how I would probably slide.
But
Like
like sliding, I feel like I would be less likely, me personally, to want to slide in my sphere because I feel like that's embarrassing if the slide doesn't go good. I feel like if it's like a stranger or just somebody that's cute and maybe go to live in the next town over to just pop up on Explore.
with a stranger, I feel like it's easy, but it's just like okay, a stranger. If I see somebody and they're on TikTok and they make TikToks and they're in Chicago, okay, sure, I could do that. But he's still gonna be in my pool.
Chicago TikTokers, that's too popular for me.
No, I'm just saying. You was just saying like I'm just saying as far as it being a rando. Like if you're gonna slide on a rando, somebody you just are somebody you follow in the city that you know, sure, But it's gonna be a fail either way. But it just depends on what you're trying to get. Like if this stranger you trying to, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not saying if you're in your sphere, like somebody that you see around, it's not even somebody that you might necessarily know, like your friends may know like that. It's just like, oh,
So like a mutual or something like that, that feels more comfortable for you. Someone you know of or someone you've seen before, that feels more comfortable for you. Is that a preference?
it went out. I can't hear you.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, there you go. You can hear me now?
Yeah. So can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
So is that more comfortable to like be around or to date someone possibly that your peers may know of or someone you've seen before, you know a little bit more about them? Is that more like comfortable or is that just like a preference or just at random?
I think that the world is not open. So I have not been slid on in person yet. But I think that like
Well,
coming from a college,
open world.
right. In that situation, sure. I think it really just depends. I'm the type of person, if I meet you in person and we have a vibe and it's going somewhere, maybe we get each other number, I'm still gonna have to text you and we still gonna have to talk for like a little while before I'm not the type of person we meet today, tomorrow we gonna go on a date because I don't know. I still need time to get to know someone before I be
So
like,
you like to have some level. You don't like to still go into it like, let me just get to know you first and we don't talk.
nah, because then I'm gonna be so like uptight and nervous that you probably not even going. I feel like you should try to arrive not with 100% of who you are, because I guess people say that you can't do that. But
Yeah.
I feel like you should try to arrive as close as down to earth as you can. And I feel like when I first like it's the leeriness of like I don't know you. Like let me at least feel like I know a little something before I'm like, okay, we can go on a full fledged date because we can vibe for a night. Next day, you talking to me, and you know that's not even. But then they also do say that it is good to, um, just get to know somebody because that's what dating is. So you could necessarily go on a date with somebody
That's
right
how I
away.
think I've done both. I think it just kind of depends. I prefer to just talk to somebody in person because I feel like texting is just it's kind of like misconstrued. Like I don't know. I feel like sometimes you don't really get like a lot of time. And the only time that I didn't really like text somebody a lot was ow was when I met my boyfriend and I was like, yo, he was like working all the time. So we didn't really get a lot of time to text. And like, he didn't even text me back really before it was time for us to hang out. It was like, his ass, I don't know. But it was just like, we didn't talk a lot. So it was just like, okay, let's just really see. Cause at first, like the communication was so bad that I was just like, all right, well, let's just go on a date. It was a couple of days, but he was busy. And then I was like, okay, this was fine. So I think sometimes it just kind of it depends. Sometimes you got to kind of crack the egg of texting too. I feel like sometimes it'd be more comfortable texting is still kind of like, you know, I think is that sometimes we get overconfident if we're that interesting or we bring all this to a text conversation, but sometimes I feel like people can only still do so much.
Yeah,
You can get lost in translation. I know I've lost people from texting and translation. It was fine, whatever, off an app or whatever, but it just be like, you know, I don't know.
I I think yeah. I think all of that depends. It just depends on the person and the vibe. But I'm a texter. I I don't really be. I feel like you gotta work your way up to FaceTime. Don't FaceTime me right out the way. That's a lot.
A
But
lot of
I
people do that now in quarantine or like have FaceTime dates first. And
I
I've never done that before first.
see. I think that that's fine because like, but I would do it under the preliminary. Like we still texted a few days to set up the day for us to FaceTime. I can do that,
No, but on
but
dating apps now, like on Bumble and stuff, I think when I was still on Bumble, you could video chat people like
yeah, but I was
which
never doing
is
that.
funny.
So that's a lot. I feel like that's a lot. Like we just matched and now you just about to video chat me like
Yeah, that's
but there are so many people who just
who do that, and it's not a big
yeah.
deal. It's a lot of
Yeah.
different personalities. I think sometimes I just some things I'll be open to. Sometimes I'm like, no, that's too much. So, is it
Mm.
a certain type of guy to approach in these circumstances? Would you approach your 10 high value, fine businessman, 29 years old, looking good, got a suit on, lawyer, he's serving his thing. You approach a man like that, or you approach you know, a guy in your sphere who, work down the street, down that your friends know to work at the local theater or something. You think it's easier to slide on an everyday man or like a big dog man, a grown man.
Somewhere in between. Somewhere in between the
That's
both.
too safe.
But I feel like you can't always shoot your shots at the tens. But if you do, I don't know. shoot my shot at 10.
Who would be receptive? Let me reword it. Receptive. Because some men, I feel like they, not everybody's on social media. So like, you
Yeah.
try out, some of them. But I find that a lot of these men who are still business professionals and things like that, who make good money, whatever, who are considered to be together, I think they're still in the dating apps, honestly. I think they do use them.
I don't know. I think that it has everything to do with cultural wise because I don't think that black guys are the like high quality whatever, or even maybe like an everyday man. I don't think that they're on dating apps.
That's
Like
what I'm wondering, because I'm like,
they are, but they're not.
never be none of the fine niggas that I would see. Oh, they would only be on Instagram or like Facebook, or like it would never. Rarely I would see somebody who I seen out in my sphere who was fine and cool on like a dating.
Because there's still something,
but they're on there. But I don't know. I don't know.
and there's still something very taboo about dating apps. Like there's still something that's very off because we did not arrive in a world in which dating apps is a thing. We've like just kind of accepted them as they came to us. But I still feel like amongst like it depends culturally what your values are, because a lot of black people values is just like, you meet the person in person, and they going off what their grandparents did or what their mamas and daddies did. And yeah, I mean, dudes still try to holler at girls at gas stations and the grocery store and stuff like that. So I feel like,
but I do say this. I think that a lot of black men have the app. I don't think they actively use it. I think that I've seen it on a lot of guys I've talked to who are hot and, whatever, and they still have it like on their phone. It's like a sometimes thing. But
yeah.
The confidence, I think black men's confidence is different than white men's confidence. And I know that for a fact. It's 100 times out of 10, a black man will approach you because they have the confidence, and white men are a lot more meek, or they don't, it's different. Culturally, it is a lot different. So I feel like sometimes it is easier for white men to use dating apps and to slide on a black woman, especially, or just a woman in general. Sometimes, I don't really know the white man slide. I mean, like, okay, like my boyfriend, he's a slider for sure, but his ass is not an everyday. He's ignorant, fuck nigga shit type shit, silly. So it's like, I think that they have those guys out there that would just do it. Oh, what's up, hey baby, like that type of shit. But like, I think that that's still not the everyday like approach, and I think you still grow out of that as well. So I don't know. I said a lot, but I just think it just kind of varies. It's like you said, it's still culturally different. But
yeah, that's the thing with dating in the now in general. It's just like it's kind of like a free form. Like everybody is literally just doing what they want to do. If they want to use dating apps, they using dating apps. If they want to go out and meet somebody, they going out and meet. Like people are just, and it's so many blurred lines and so many things are so undefined on what it is that it's just like, and do what's gonna get you what you need. Do what you feel like is gonna get you there.
Just texted my phone, stranger with a 586 number. This in Snapchat and be like, who the fuck? And I'm deleting this spam. That's so. Meanwhile,
still trying to slide.
I don't know. I don't know. I love dating. I think dating's fun. That's why I always like to talk to you about dating, because I don't date anymore. So I think it's like fun, and I think it's really what you make it.
I'm interested to see what it will be like when the world is more accessible, like when people are actually outside safely. And
I think people are going to be dying to be together, be married. I think it's gonna boost. I still think that our generation of people are still trying to get that back, and hone in on those things. But it's a lot of quarantine babies. It's a lot of, there's not a lot of unions being into place. But hey, give and take. But I think it will be good. I think it's a lot of people who want to. It's a lot of everybody's lonely right now. Hey, shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it would be a lot.
I want you to go on a quarantine day. I want you to like eat sandwiches out by like the lake or something. Like go for a little walk or something. Go get some coffee. Like it's stuff still you can do in Chicago. I want you to go home.
I don't know. That sounds cool, but I don't know what's out here. It's still very much. That's the thing. It's like things are getting better, but things are also just like in a weird standstill. So it's just like, but we'll see. I would love to go on a quarantine date as well. I would love to see that for myself.
Wait for so long. People can only wait for so long
But I don't think it's a waiting.
before you
I
leave.
don't
What?
I don't think it's a waiting thing. I think that dating, I think that being with someone and dating and all those things is as easy as a choice of like going to Panera or going to Buffalo Wild Wings. Like you do what you want. Like if it's something in your space that you can do that in dating, you got somebody that you like and they're trying to pursue you back and forth. But I don't think it's something that you have to like set out to make happen. Like, okay, today I'm on.
But I'm
I
like,
think,
we're not getting any. But I'm like, okay, we're not getting any younger. Say quarantines are not 2 years. So then you gonna wait?
but that's the thing. Waiting, is it waiting? Or is it just living? Like if somebody bump into you and you live your life like that actively,
You would be. People would be more likely. You would be more likely to be dating or doing something if this wasn't there. So it's still time is not saving us because of this.
I feel like the world was open and I still
You said
so it wasn't popping. I said I feel like the world was open and stuff still wasn't popping. I think it's just the time, like everybody. If it's a time and space for you to be with somebody, then you will be with somebody and you will date if you're supposed to date. And if you ain't,
then
you
that's
ain't.
it.
I don't look at like, because I'm 23. I'll be 24 in May. But I'm not like, dang, I'm getting old. I gotta start thinking about this, and this. I'm just like, I'm 24. Like, I'm 24. I'm figuring it out. I got stuff going on. I know where I want to be. I got plans. But I just know so many like in and out stories of people who did one thing and lived their life this way and lived their life that way that I'm just like, nobody got the answers. You gotta just.
Yeah, and a lot of like older generations of people like project onto like young women, especially like don't make the mistakes they did, or don't it's always like a lot of like things. So it's kind of hard to find, what is really our walk and the happy medium in between those things. Because people tell you to wait, don't do those things because they didn't, but it's still like it's different aspects of like happiness as well. So I think it's like a fine line. I say like 28, 29, 27. Like, okay, if COVID's still going on, I'd be like, I don't know. I don't know now, but I don't know. I think it will come. I think we're having this conversation. I'm sure it's going to happen very soon. I think somebody go try to slide real quick. I think between this new revamp and this new hairstyle, I think it's coming. If you would slide, please leave a comment if you would like to slide. All right, and we'll leave it at that, y'all. Thank you so much for coming to this conversation. My sweet, sweet girl, Sanjanae Sweet Potato. I will leave her socials here at the bottom in the description. And let us know if you want us to have more conversations like this. And I'll see you guys later. Hit the subscribe button. Bye.
Hey.